Sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kame sumiccācara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majja pamadattana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Imani panca sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani panca sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Imani panca sikkhapadani samadhiyami. Iti piso bhagava arahant samma sambuddho Vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manussanang buddho bhagavati. Swakato bhagavata dhammo sanditthiko akaliko ehipassiko opanayiko paccattāng veditappo vinyuhiti. Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Ujupatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Nyāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Samicipatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Yadidang cattari purisa yugani atta purisa Gala esa bhagavato savaka sangho ahuneyo pahuneyo dakhineyo anjali karaniyo anuttarang punyakketang lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I was trying to tell you all that Four Noble Truth is very difficult to actually understand. Huh? It is easy to know. So this is quite clear, the Eightfold Path. No further explanation required. Anybody wants to ask anything? Okay, nobody has any question on this Eightfold Path, So always remember, this Eightfold Path is the way to end suffering. The way to go to Nibbana is to follow the Eightfold Path. But like I've said, it's not easy, Even the 5 ascetics we have demonstrated to you that they were advanced practitioners, yet they could not actually fully perceive the Four Noble Truth and the Eightfold Path. Only Kondanya understood and became a Sotapanna. Okay, he realized that a little bit. Then the Buddha has to continue with the Anatta Lakkhana Sutta that says not self. Why? So that when we realize that this body is not us, this is all about the 5 aggregates. These are all not us. When we can realize this, then we will realize detachment. And detachment is the key to understanding all this. So that's why the Buddha. So all these subsequent suttas that you want to learn, basically they're all coming in to support us to understand, to realize the Four Noble Truths. There is nothing else in Buddhism, In Buddhism, it's only about realizing the Four Noble Truths and to realize the way to end the suffering, which is the Magga. The Magga, we call it, so we call the Eightfold Path. This is the only way to end suffering. All right? And then all the other suttas that you do is all about trying to end suffering, all about trying to realize the Four Noble Truths. They are not deeper teachings. In fact, if you were to analyze it very, very, very carefully, the further you go, the easier the suttas are. The Buddha makes it easier and easier for people to understand so that they can realize the Four Noble Truths. It's all about realizing the Four Noble Truths. Okay? And to practice this Eightfold Path. There's nothing else. Okay? So this is what the Buddha says. Idangko panabhikkhave
Brother Tan,
dukkha nirodha gamini patipada arya satchang. Ayameva aryo attangiko maggo seyati dang. Attangiko maggo. Okay, at least you learn this word lah. You know the word gamini. Patipada means middle way. The middle way. And then we learn what is aryo attangiko maggo. Aryo, we must know that it is called arya. Arya means the noble. Okay. Attangiko, the eightfold. Eightfold. Atta is 8. Attangiko maggo is path. So at least we remember this term lah. Aryo attangiko maggo. Okay. So the Buddha says, Idangko panabhikkhave dukkha nirodha gamini patipada arya satchang. Ayameva aryo attangiko maggo seyati idang. Now, bhikkhus, is the noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering. It is the noble Eightfold Path and nothing else. Okay? Sayatidang, that is to say. Samma ditti, samma sankappo, samma vacha. Try to memorize this one. So easy for you when you want to share. When you want to share with people, then you can just tell them like you say, I put your right understanding. Some of you will say it's the same as right view. I say yes. So in order that we want to standardize, we tell them it's samma ditti, easy, okay? Because there is no equivalent of ditti lah. Some say understanding, some say view, some say macam-macam lah. Go ahead lah. But the actual word used by the Buddha is ditti. Okay? Ditti. Sama ditti, sama sangkappo, sama wacha, sama kamanto, sama ajiwo, sama vayamo, sama sati, sama samadhi. Then they couldn't understand. The Buddha went to Anattalakkhana Sutta and they all understood. And the Buddha was very happy. Okay? Now we go to the next part. What did the Buddha do after that? So what did the Buddha do after that? actually the Buddha's target was after that was to go for the Kassapa brothers, the Kassapa brothers. Okay. But in the meantime, during his journey, he of course he encountered a few more kind of incidents, lah. Yeah. So, but his target was to go to the Kassapa brothers and try to convert them, try to make them realize the actual teaching, lah, the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. So, okay, then this incident happened during that time, lah. Before he went to see the Kassapa brothers. Okay, these are a few things that we need to know, lah. There are a lot of stories which I really plug a few good ones. I mean, not good ones, critical ones that we should know, lah. So that when people mention, lah. So the name here is called Yasser. Yasser was the son of a wealthy money lender, okay, who, like the Buddha, sought more than life of luxury. You see, he also does not believe in all this life of luxury. He was a very rich man's son. Yasser, the rich man's son. He visited the Buddha, and the Buddha taught him Dana, Sila, and Sagga, celestial states, the evil of sensual pleasures and the renunciation. Then he realized, then he realized and he became a Sotapanna. So Buddha accepted him into the order. Then later the Buddha, you see, later he brought his 54 friends. Yasser has 54 very close friends. 55 of them always roam together, do things together. So when Buddha convinced him on the Dhamma, then he brought his friends. He brought his 54 friends because they all one gang, So these 54 friends also listened to the teachings and they all joined the order too. So they made up of the first 60 disciples of the Buddha. So remember, everybody like to say, when did the Buddha start spreading his teaching? When he had his first 60 people. Who are the first 60 disciples of him? First are the 5 friends, remember? Kondanya, Vapa, Mahanama, Padya, and who one more? I always forget lah. When I write down, I can remember. Okay, so they were the first 5. And now this Yasser brought 54 friends, 55 altogether. So remember, when people ask you who are the 60, first 5 plus Yasser and his 54 friends, they made up of the total 60. Okay? Okay, despite Yasser's father and mother, former wife offering alms, all that is not so critical. Okay, so what happened when the Buddha has 60 followers? Now the Buddha has got 60. Okay? So what did he do? Then the Buddha gave instruction to the first 60 arahants that he had. Okay? This is the assembly of the 60 arahants. So now with Yasser and his 54 friends, the Buddha have 60 followers. Remember, correct? Just 2 months after enlightenment, he got 60 already, So with 60 arahants, or we call it arahat, yes, in Pali it's called arahat, an ideal number to propagate the Dhamma. The Buddha says, I got 60. Wow, this is good enough. Let us start going all out to propagate the Dhamma. Let's try to help those who have little dust in their eyes. Okay? So the Buddha gave them instruction, and this is important again. The instruction given by the Buddha to the 60 arahants, all of you, go forth, O bhikkhus, for the good of the many, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world, for the good, the benefit, and happiness of gods and men. Remember, he's the teacher of gods and men also. So this phrase very important. You must remember that the Buddha told them, you go out of compassion for the world. Many people like to quote this one. Out of compassion for the world, for the good, the benefit, and happiness of gods and men. Now, another important instruction here. Okay, let not two go by one way. Okay, so the Buddha says, no 2 persons go to the same place. Correct? So see how he uses his manpower. He has got 60 people, but he made full use of his manpower, So he's a very good in utilizing his people also. He didn't want no two go by the same way. Remember, this is something which we have to learn. Yeah, this is called resource management, human management, resource management. Let not two go by one way. Okay, so remember, the Buddha is a very good apa tu, itu manpower management also. Okay, so he tell no, let not two go by one way. Now listen to another important stanza. He said, preach, O bhikkhus, the Dhamma excellent in the beginning, excellent in the middle, excellent in the end, both in spirit and in the letter. Okay, in the letter means exactly what is there, it is what it means. Okay, there are beings with little dust in their eyes. This is another very popular statement used by the Buddhists. People with little dust in their eyes then can understand the Dhamma, correct? So the Buddha says, though there are beings with little dust in their eyes who hear not the Dhamma will fall away. There will be those who understand the Dhamma. So the Buddha told them, now go, O bhikkhus, separately. No two bhikkhus should go to the same place. Okay? No two go by the same way. And then remember what this is for. This is our compassion to the world for the good and benefit and happiness of gods and men. Let not two go by one way. Preach, O bhikkhu, the Dhamma, excellent in the beginning, excellent in the middle. Remember, this is the place that I want you to explain. What do you mean by excellent in the beginning, excellent in the middle, and excellent in the end, both in spirit and in the letter. There are beings with little eyes little dust in the eyes, who not hearing the Dhamma will fall away. There will be those who understand the Dhamma. The Buddha told them. Yes, the Dhamma is simple but not easy. Correct? So many, you see, even the five disciples could not understand the Buddha's teaching on the Four Noble Truths because it is simple but not easy to digest. Okay, so that is the Dhamma. So the Buddha says, people with little dust in their eyes means people with a bit of wisdom. They can see the Dhamma well. That is the meaning of little dust in the eyes. So can somebody explain here of what you understand? Excellent in the beginning, excellent in the middle, and excellent in the end. Can somebody volunteer to share with us? What do you mean by excellent in the beginning, excellent in the middle, and excellent in the end? Anybody? So Kim Chu, you want to say something? You want to try? What do you mean by excellent in the beginning?
Because Buddha have tried to fast, have tried everything, but it didn't work. And finally, after he was served with the milk or the rice, and he gained his strength, and now he found the path to uh, the middle path that will work for. To continue with the journey.
Okay, good. Okay, that's about middle path. Okay, that is one view you have. Anybody else want to say something? Richard, you want to say something? Good in the beginning, good in the middle, and good in the end. What do you mean by good in the middle? What you understand, not what you mean. So, of course, Buddhism is all about your own understanding. So Sister Kim Chu has said that she understood that as the middle way, and you follow the middle way. Okay, fine. We can, there is one view. So, Brother Richard, you got anything to say? We do some brainstorming. Brother Richard, Sister Serene, you got anything to say?
Uh, no, I do not explain.
Okay. What about you, Susan? Sister Susan Yap. Okay, little dust in the eyes, you understand, huh? Because okay, little dust in the eyes means there are people who have that wisdom to understand. That's what the Buddha says, lah. Not everybody can understand the Dhamma, you know. Correct.
Yeah
You
lah,
must
got little
accept the-
dance one, then will come and hear the Dharma, right?
that means there are people who can understand the Dhamma, not only here. They can understand the Dhamma. Some people, you tell them also, they won't understand, they go away. Like the first naked ascetic Upaka, that he just walked away. He cannot understand. No point in it. So he wasted his chance. That is the meaning of little dust in the eyes. So we are people with little dust in the eyes. We can understand the Dhamma. We are interested. So we are trying to understand more. That's all. There's a meaning of little dust in the eyes. So what is the next meaning of excellent in the beginning, excellent in the middle, and excellent in the end? Anybody else want to try? Just we try and say something.
What I read in the article is that the very beginning is sort of the teaching about good morality and good practice in cultivation, which is the starting at the very beginning that start with the good mind. Then in the middle, it is the path that shows the step by step, which is good in cultivating a good practice. And the ending is the nibbana, which is the blissful state of mind, which become the very good ending. I'm not sure because I read come across a few articles, but this is the one that catch my eyes.
Yeah. Okay, very good, sister. Okay, what Sister Sumitra is saying is good in the beginning is about morality. It is about sila lah. So the teaching is good for sila. It is with the beginning part. We must focus on our morality, correct? On ethical life. On living a very ethical life. That's called sila. And then the second part, she says, is about practice, it's about samadhi, it's about concentration and practice. It is also known as samadhi. So, the Eightfold Path consists of sila, samadhi, panya. First, you start with the sila, your morality, then you go to your concentration. Then you focus on the concentration. It is good for the concentration also. And eventually, it is good for your wisdom, good for your panya. So that's what Sister Sumitra is trying to say, sila, samadhi, panya. This is a very common, correct way of explaining good in the beginning, good in the middle, and good in the end. So this is the standard way of explaining lah. That means it is good for your sila, then it's good for your samadhi, your concentration, and eventually it's good for the wisdom. And that is nibbana. Okay. Now on the practical part, I would add in a little bit more. My views. I've actually added a bit lah. This is not from the books, but okay. What I'm trying to say here is good at the beginning is for people who are also just learning Buddhism. Many a times people have asked us this question. You learned a long time ago, lah, brother. I only start learning now. I'm a beginner, lah. But my view is beginner or people who have practiced 10, 20, 30 years, same benefit because we are all struggling to understand. There is no such thing as I'm only a beginner, brother. You practice 30 years already, you should be better. There's no such thing as you should be better. It is good in the beginning. It is meaning can also mean that it is good for people who have just started or people who have started 10 years ago. Okay, both are actually effective. Effective for beginners, effective for those people who have learned long time ago. Good at the beginning, good in the middle. Correct? Same thing. Good in the middle would mean that it is also good for people who have practiced. They think they have practiced so much, they know. It's also good. Does not mean better, It is good. And then also those advanced practitioners. Also good, doesn't mean better. It didn't say that it is good, better, and best. No. But the Buddha says good in the beginning, good in the middle, and good in the end. Meaning, if you are a beginner today, you can progress as equally as well as somebody who has started 30 years ago. Don't worry. Okay? Does not mean 30 years ago has an advantage. I don't believe so lah. I think if you start let's say Buddhism is new to you, only started this year. Okay? But you could have cultivated this in your previous life, you know. You could have got these paramis in the previous life. Huh? This life, you need to be click only, you know. People click, then you realize, you know. So you can be equally or even better than somebody who have actually been exposed to Buddhism long time ago. Right? It does not mean that it is due to their seniority or being exposed long time. No. Some people learn very fast. Some people can take 50 years, they still cannot understand. Okay? So that's what it means. So don't worry about you. I'm a beginner or you are advanced practitioners. We all have the same footing in understanding, in realizing Buddhism. Okay? No such thing as you have more advantage, I have more advantage. No. We are on equal footing on understanding Buddhism. Okay? Meaning to say that you can understand as well as I can understand. Okay? Does not mean I have an advantage over you lah. I will put it that way lah. This is more a form of encouraging people lah. So yes, number one is good at the beginning means it's good for sila, good in the middle is good for samadhi, and it's good for panya, good for your wisdom. And also it means that don't worry, even if you're new practitioners or an advanced practitioner, you have equal footing. We can realize equally as well, beginner and advanced practitioner. Because of your previous paramis in your life, I do not know what you have cultivated. You can be very fast after this. We do not know. So that's what I would interpret lah. Okay, what else we need to? Okay, what else here we need to? This is the very important phrase lah. So here it says that go forth, bhikkhu, for the good of the many, for the happiness of the many. Go this and help the people for their happiness out of compassion. Correct? You teach Buddhism out of compassion, not for material gain. That means, remember, out of compassion for the world, for the good, the benefit and happiness of gods and men. You don't go and preach for your material benefit. Okay, that's what it means here lah. Correct? Okay, let no two go by one way. This is the Buddha's way of his human resource management. You each go your own separate ways. And also the Buddha went separately, okay? The Buddha also went separately. He got 60 people to go on 60 different routes. He took the 61th path, 61 route, okay? He also went on his own alone, okay? Okay, no questions, from here? Did I confuse anybody here? No, so I continue. Okay, then see along the way, again along the way, this is not so, what shall I say? Okay, it can be used, but not so popular, but okay, fine. Since I have it here, we will explain. So Buddha converted another 30 set of people, 30 people. See, okay, the story goes here is, at that time, 30 happy young men went with their wives to this particular grove to amuse themselves. Go to a beautiful park to amuse themselves. Okay, 30 young men went there. As one of them had no wife, all brought their wife. This poor fellow got no wife. He brought a courtesan instead lah. He went sewa one partner lah, a courtesan there. So while they were enjoying themselves, this woman absconded with their valuables. This courtesan, they sapu everything and ran away lah. So the young man, the 30 of them searched for her in the forest, and seeing the Buddha, they asked the Buddha, inquired of him whether he saw a woman passing that way. They say, "Oh, Bante, did you see a woman passing that way?" Then the Buddha asked them again, "Now, which do you think, young man, is better? Seeking a woman or seeking oneself?" You see, so see, that is why we say that the Buddha is a very eloquent speaker. He knows when to speak at the right time, at the right place. When people ask him, did you see the woman passing by this way? Because they were looking for the woman, but the woman took all the valuables. The Buddha asked them, which do you think is better, young man? Seeking the woman or seeking oneself? See, so the Buddha is a Sugato in that sense. We say he's a Sugato because he knows how to tackle you at the right time, you know. So seeking oneself is better, oh Lord, replied the young man. See, so the Buddha got him. He said, yes, seeking oneself is better. Then the Buddha got him. So they, okay, very good. Well then, sit down. I shall preach the doctrine to you, said the Buddha. Very well, Lord, they replied, and respectfully saluting the exalted one, sat expectantly by. Okay, they attentively listened to him and obtained the eye of truth. After this, they entered the order and received the higher ordination. You see, so the Buddha just one question, which is better, seeking the woman or seeking yourself? And he got 30 people. So that is the quality of the Buddha lah. He's a Sugato. Remember, he can also be the teacher of those trainable and untrainable. So here the lesson learned I put here lah. This is my conclusion. The Buddha could convert anybody. Angulimala also can, Playboy also can, all also can. Though Jolly Kaki also can. Okay, the Buddha has his way of how to preach to people. Okay, so that's what it means here lah. And then, okay, then after that, the Buddha went on for his target lah. So during the journey, these are the incident that we talk about lah. He got his 60 people, and then then the Buddha went to see the conversion of the Kassapa brothers. This is important name. Another important name is called the Kassapa brothers. This Kassapa is not the Mahakassapa, different. This is not the Mahakassapa. Mahakassapa story later we have. Okay, I'll cover the story for you today. There are a few stories I will tell you lah, but the common ones that sometimes we need to know lah, you know. Right? Okay, so now the Buddha's target is the Kassapa brothers, remember. So okay, let's read and see what I have written this last time. Wandering from place to place. Can y'all see how was it too small for y'all? Wandering from place to place, the Buddha arrived at Uruvela. Uruvela. Here live 3 Jatilas, ascetics. These are called the upper hair itu ascetic. Matted hair ascetic, ascetic with matted hair, known as the Uruvela Kassapa. The eldest brother is called Uruvela Kassapa. His second brother is called Nadi Kassapa, and the youngest brother is called Gaya Kassapa. They all were brothers living separately with 500 followers. The eldest brother, Uruvela Kassapa, has 500 followers. His second brother has got 300 followers. And the youngest disciple, the youngest brother, has 200 followers. Okay? So the Kassapa brothers were very well known during that time. During that time, they were very, very popular. Villagers all respect them very much. They were a name. They were also a household name, you know. So they were all brothers living separately. Maybe I make it a little bit bigger. We don't need the picture. Okay, I can read also. They were all brothers living separately with 500, 300, and 200 disciples respectively. The eldest was proud of his own spiritual attainment and always thought that he was an arahant. Okay? Uruvela Kassapa is very arrogant. He's very proud of himself. He thinks that he's an arahant, you know. So the Buddha approached him and sought his permission to spend the night in this fire chamber, where dwelt a fierce serpent king. Okay, by his psychic power, the Buddha subdued the serpent. This pleased Uruvela Kassapa, and he invited the Buddha to stay there as his guest. Although the Buddha used his psychic power, Uruvela still did not believe that the Buddha was an arahant. Okay, so now the Buddha is very smart lah. How did he get in? He told the Kassapa brothers, "I want to stay in your fire chamber." They were fire worshippers, huh? They have got a chamber where the fire is always there, lighted there. The fire never douse one, it's always lighted. And there lived a very fierce serpent, in the fire chamber. And the serpent is known to be very fierce and he will kill people on. So the Buddha asked his permission, "Can I stay in your fire chamber?" So Uruvela Kassapa said, "Cannot, it's too dangerous for you. One day you go there, you'll be killed by the serpent." So the Buddha asking a second time, "Can I stay in your chamber?" Again, he says no. The Buddha asked for the third time. He said, "Okay lah, you want to stay, you go and stay lor." So he thinks that the Buddha wants to kill himself lor. So he told the Buddha, "You want to stay, you can stay lah." So the Buddha stayed there that night lah. And see what the Buddha did there was he was able to subdue this serpent king. Okay. Then in the morning, Uruvela Kassapa was very shocked to see the Buddha. Wow, he's still alive, and the serpent king was just very tamely beside him. So that's how he actually convinced him. Then he was very happy. He said, "Okay, you continue to stay here lah. You continue to stay here." He says, "Be my guest lah," because he thought, "Oh, this man is powerful lah." But he still does not believe that he is Sama Sambuddha. He still does not believe that he is an arahant. He didn't believe that the Buddha was arahant, was Sama Sambuddha. He thinks that he is more powerful, okay? But he entertained the Buddha. Say, "No, ma, you come and stay here, okay?" So then, then we continue what happened next. On one occasion, there was a festival in Uruvela. So Uruvela Kassapa was concerned that when the Buddha appeared during the festival, the Buddha would attract more attention than him. So when the time comes, the Buddha chose not to appear. This pleasantly surprised Uruvela Kassapa when he got all the attention. Okay? So here, what happened? Here is, then you see, every year in Uruvela, they have got a ceremony lah. They've got a very big ceremony where all the villagers will come. They will come and then all will focus their attention on Uruvela Kassapa lah. He was the boss of them. There, but the Buddha has stayed there for so long already, for 2-3 months. So Buddha became more popular than Uruvela Kassapa, actually. So the villagers can see the difference. So when the festival day came, Uruvela Kassapa was a bit worried. I said, this time with the Buddha here, I will not get the attention from the villagers, They seem to favor the Buddha more, correct? They like him more, They will focus their attention on him. So tonight, I will not get my attention. So he was very worried and very sad. Then what happened? But then at night during that function, Buddha did not attend that function. Okay? The Buddha knew, so the Buddha didn't attend that function. And so this pleasantly surprised Uruvela Kassapa, where he got all the attention that he wanted. Everybody come and talk to him, see him, be happy. So the next morning, Uruvela asked the Buddha why he did not attend the festival the previous night. Then the Buddha answered him, "Were you not concerned that I will attract more attention than you if I were to appear in the festival?" Correct. The Buddha can read his mind. This surprised Uruvela that the Buddha could read his mind. He was shocked. Alamak, how come he can understand what I'm thinking? So finally, then Uruvela was convinced that the Buddha could read his mind, and the Buddha is higher than him, and the Buddha was finally he respected and accepted the Buddha to be fully enlightened. Then he became the disciple of the Buddha. Okay? So when the Buddha read his mind and told him, "Were you not concerned that if I were to attend that function, all the attention will come to me?" Then he was shocked. I see, the Buddha can read my mind. Then he became a follower of the Buddha. Therefore, he entered the order and obtained the higher ordination. Okay. Then his brothers and his followers also followed his example, accompanied by the three Kassapa brothers and their 1,000 followers. Now they got 1,000 followers already. Don't forget, the Buddha got 1,000 here, 30 along his way, and then the first 60 went on separate ways. So the Buddha is now expanding. So accompanied by the three Kassapa brothers, their 1,000 followers, the Buddha went to Gaya Caesar. Caesar, not far from Uruvela. There he preached the Aditta Pariyaya Sutta. Okay, then the sutta is, what is it called? It is called All in Flames. See, again here, the Buddha uses similes. The Buddha know that they were fire worshippers. So when the Buddha gave a talk to all the rest of the people in the village, the Buddha talked about all in flames. It's called Aditta Pariyaya Sutta. Okay, so he talk about all what is inflamed. Okay, this one we are okay. We just touch a bit lah, just 2 sentences. What do you mean by all inflamed? The Buddha says your senses are inflamed. Your feeling inside you are inflamed. Your eyes seeing things are all inflamed. Your ear hearing things are all inflamed. All are all heated up. Correct? But there is no restraint. So you must restrain your senses, the Buddha says, in short. But the Buddha didn't put it that way. The Buddha says all inflamed. So they all want to listen what is all inflamed. Then the Buddha says your eyes are inflamed. You see things, you eyes jadi merah, everything you want. You hear things, everything you want to repeat, all these bad rumors. You like to tell lies. You like to hear all these borak stories. You like, then your mouth are inflamed. You like to eat and talk nonsense. See, the Buddha used this simile. So the Buddha used this simile, and then he converted everybody in that village. Okay? Okay, then this story is about how the brothers all were converted. This is not so critical. Okay, brothers of Uruvela Kassapa, Nadi Kassapa, Gaya Kassapa, brothers of the great Uruvela Kassapa, powerful men and chieftains among the people were dwelling below the stream. So when they saw all those instruments, all the paraphernalias for fire worshipping, all thrown into the river, they thought something happened to the brother. So they went. So that's why the Buddha also took the advantage of sharing the Dhamma with them, and they were all converted. So that is the story of the Buddha and the Kassapa brothers. Okay. So any question from here? Okay, so this Uruvela Kassapa is not the Maha Kassapa. So we will tell you now the story of the Maha Kassapa now. Okay, nothing else from here. Everybody clear, isn't it? Okay. This one, who is this man and who is this man? Okay. So I will tell you who this man is. Okay, now we talk about Sariputta. His original name is Upatissa. Okay. And these are the two foremost disciples of the Buddha. Sariputta is equal to the Buddha in his wisdom and knowledge. Okay. Moggallana, or his original name is Kolita, is equal in psychic power. That's why the story goes that Moggallana went to visit the mother in hell, the Ulambana Sutta and all that, because he is very powerful in psychic power. When he was enlightened, he could go down to hell to see his mother there. Okay. So remember these two names, Sariputta and Moggallana. These are the two foremost disciples of the Buddha. So if you see the Buddha image, normally you got two persons there beside him. These two persons is actually Sariputta and Moggallana. If there's one in attendance, there is Ananda. These are the things that you see in the Buddha Rupa. Okay, so one day, Venerable Asaji, the youngest of the first five, Asaji, okay, he's already an Arahant that time. Then he went to the village. Yeah, he looked so clean and proper and so so educated. So then Upatissa is his name. His original name is Upatissa. Then he's very interested in finding the knowledge, to overcome all this, Because at that time of at the time of the Buddha, many people are very engrossed in trying to find solution to all these nonsense preached by the Brahmins, about all these kind of rituals and all these offerings. They're all not happy. So there were many, remember. So every time they see a wise man, they ask them, what Dhamma do you learn? Who's your master? Lah? So this Upatissa is also, he and Kolita are best friends. Kolita and Upatissa are best friends. So whenever one of them finds something good, they will tell the other party. They share ideas. So one day, Upatissa saw this venerable Asaji. He looked so clean and so proper. He asked him, can you tell me, what share your Dhamma with me, try to educate me. So Asaji told him, I am still young in the order, brother. I am not able to expound the Dhamma to you at length. Okay? Venerable Asaji, he's an Arahant, so he's very humble. You see, all these people are very humble people. They tell you, I'm still young, and I'm young in the order, and I'm not able to expound the Dhamma to you at length. Correct? Then Upatissa replied, okay, and then Upatissa said, please, no, I'm Upatissa, Venerable Sir. Say much or say little, never mind. Tell me a little bit to your ability. So he's pleading with Venerable Asaji, please tell me, even if you can tell me a lot or tell me very little in 100 ways or in 1,000 ways, never mind, but please tell me something of your teaching. It looks so profound, He's an Arahant, so he looks so profound, Asaji. So he said, please tell me something not much, also little bit, also never mind. Then what did he say? This we can remember, this can be quoted. So Venerable Asaji told him, Ye Dhamma Hetu Pabhava Te Sang Hetung Tathagato Aha Te Sancha Yo Nirodo Evang Vadi Maha Sammano. What does that mean? It says, of things that proceed from a cause. Okay, so he's very profound teaching. I just told Upatissa this and only these 4 lines. Okay, 4 lines only, and Upatissa became a Sotapanna, Okay, he said of things that proceed from a cause, their cause that the Tathagata has told. The Buddha has explained to us all cause and effect, in short, and also the cessation and how to stop. Thus teach the great ascetic. Okay, that's all he said. Of things that proceed from a cause, that cause the Buddha has told, and also the cessation. This cause of suffering, the Buddha has told, and how to stop suffering, the Buddha has told. He is not a person who didn't tell you. He tells you the cause and the solution. Okay? Upatissa heard this. That was enough for Upatissa to attain Satapatti and became the follower of the Buddha. So enough for him. When he heard this, this is a man who knows the cause and who can tell you the way to end also, the suffering. Then he is very impressed. Then he became a Sotapanna, and then he persuaded Asaji to take him to see the Buddha. And then he got his friend Kolita to go also. Okay? So that was enough for him. Then they went to see the Buddha. Huh? Where am I now? Okay, here, huh? Okay. So that was enough lah. So the tagline, you must remember here, the tagline, if people ask you, how did the Sariputta, he's also learned, Sariputta is a very learned person also, attracted to the Buddha, but he was Venerable Asaji who actually know what he needs, okay? So you see, the Buddhist people are all very smart now, because they tell you what you need to know only, enough. Don't talk too much, See, of things that arise from a cause, the Tathagata has told the cause, and also what the cessation is. This is the doctrine of the great recluse of our teacher. Okay, that's all he said. Okay, these statements struck Upatissa to seek an audience with the Buddha. So Upatissa became the follower of the Buddha. Then he was ordained and he's called Sariputta. Okay, Venerable Sariputta. And then he got his friend Kolita to join, and he was ordained and he is known as Moggallana. So this is the story of Sariputta and Moggallana. Okay, any questions for here? I want to teach you all this. Okay, we will stop here. Any question from here or not? So you know what is Sariputta, you know who is Moggallana, and how they came about and how they became disciples of the Buddha. It is from Venerable Asaji. Remember, Venerable Asaji told them simple things. Of things that arise from a cause. Suffering arises from a cause. The Tathagata has told us the cause. And also their cessation, how to end suffering. And that was enough to make Upatissa to become a Sotapanna. Then he got his friend to become and to also be ordained, and is known as Moggallana. So that is the story of Sariputta and Moggallana. So any questions from here? Okay, anybody has any question from here? Next week, maybe we will tell you the personalities of Buddhism. Who are the popular names in Buddhism? Ajatasattu, King Bimbisara. Briefly, I will introduce you some of these people. So today I want to, since I got another 20 minutes, I want to share with you all the Athavīsatti paritta. But don't forget, we also must learn a bit of chanting also. So this is the protective chants of the 28th Buddha. Okay, some of you have learned these are the names of the 28 Buddhas, which is very useful for housewarming, blessings, or some good ceremony, good occasion. This is a very good chant. So we learn this chanting a bit. I introduce you this chanting. We won't be able to master this today. I will recite this once. Tanhang karo mahaviro medang karo mahayaso saranang karo lokahito dipang karo yutindero kondanyo janapamokho Mangalo purisa sabo sumano diro revato rati vattano sobito guna sampanno anomadassi januttamo padumo loka paccoto narado varasarati padumuttaro Sattasaro Sumedo Akkapuggalo Sujato Sappalo Kakgo Piyadassi Narasabo Attadassi Karuniko Dhammadassi Tamonudo Siddhatto Asamoloke Tisso Varada Sambaro Pusso Varada Sambuddho Vipassi Cha Anupamo Siki Sabbahito Satta Vesabu Sukadayako Kakusando Sattavaho Konagamano Rananjaho Kassapo Siri Sampanno Gotamo Sakya Pungavo Te Sang Satchena Silena Kanti Metta Balena Cha Te Pitwang Anurakkantu Arogena Sukena Chati Athavīsatti Me Buddha Puretva Dasa Parami Cetva Marari Sanggamang Buddhattang Samupagamong Etena Satcha Vaccena Hotu Te Jaya Mangalang. Okay, so this is called the 28 Buddhas lah. Very popular. SJPA used to chant this lah. They will do it for maybe 1,000 times, I think, over 1 week or so lah. Okay, I'll recite one more time, then you get a volunteer to recite. Now I go on the normal speed. Tanhang karo mahaviro medang karo mahayaso saranang karo lokahito dipang karo jutindaro kondanyo janapamokko manggalo purisasabo sumano diro revato rativaddano Sobito guna sampanno anomadassi januttamo padumo loka paccoto narado varasarati padumuttaro sattasaro sumedo akkapukkalo sujato sabbalo kakgo piyadassi narasabo Attadassi karuniko dhammadassi tamonudo siddhatto asamo loke tisso varada sambaro pusso varada sambuddho vipassi ca anupamo siki sabbahito satta vessabu sukadayako Kakusando sattvaho kona gamano rananjaho kassapo siri sampanno gotamo sakya pungavo te sang satchena silena kanti metta balena cha te pitwang anurakhantu arogena sukena chati Athavīsatti Me Buddha Puretva Dasa Parami Jetva Marari Sanggamang Buddhattang Samupagamong Etena Satcha Vaccena Hotu Te Jaya Mangalang. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so this is a very important chant. This is called the protective chant of the 28 Buddhas. So you can do this for housewarming parties, for good occasion. You can chant this also if you want. Apart from your Mangala Sutta. Okay, so we have, let us have Sister Kim Chu to chant this.
All right, thank you. Tanhang karo mahaviro medang karo mahayaso saranang karo lokahito dipang karo jutindaro kondanyo janapamokko manggalo purisa sabo sumano diro Revato rativaddano Sobito guna sampano anumadasi januttamo padumolo kapaccoto narado varasarati padumuttaro sattasaro sumedo akkapukalo sujato sabbalo kaggo piyadasi narasabo attadasi karuniko dhammadasi tamonudo siddhatto asamoloke tisso varada sambaro pusso varada sambuddho vipassi ca anupamo siki sabbahito satta vesabu sukadayako kakusando sattavaho konagamano rananjaho Kassapo siri sampano Gotamo sakya pungavo Te sansachane silena Kanti metta balena cha Te pituan anurakkantu Arogena sukena chati Athavīsatti me Buddha Puritva dasa parami Jetva marari sangamang Buddhatang samupagamung Etena satcha vaccena Hotu te jaya mangalang.
Okay, very well done, sister. It's
Thank
stanza
you.
number 8. There's a spelling error here, but this I cannot change here. It's Sachena.
China, right? Yeah.
Yes. The
China.
E and A behind terbalik. But I can't change this. What this is a PDF copy, actually. So I can't change. Okay. So it's Sachena. But I when I chant, I don't really pay attention on the words. Okay. So very well done, sister. Maybe yeah. Okay. Maybe I should just give you 2 comments. Okay. We start with this one. Mahaviro. Don't forget, there's a long I there.
Oh yeah. Tanghankaro Mahaviro.
Yes. Don't forget that. And then you got another. Okay, then stanza number 3. Stanza number 3. Anomadasi. Long O.
Anomadasi.
Yes. Anomadasi. Then stanza number 4. Stanza number 4. Okay, you have to practice stanza number 4 a bit. Padumuttaro sattasaro sumedo aggapukkalo sujato sabbalo kakko piyadasi narasabo. Okay, sister?
Okay. Padumuttaro sattasaro sumedo akkapuggalo sujato sabbalo kaggo piyadasi narasabo.
Okay, piyadasi. Short I, short A, short A. Piyadasi narasabo.
Piyadasi narasabo.
And yeah, piyadasi, not piyadasi,
Oh,
It's
okay.
short A.
Collection. Piyadasi. Okay. Piyadasi narasabo.
Yes, excellent, sister, excellent. Okay. Anybody wants to volunteer? Who has learned this? Otherwise, you can try one stanza after another. Don't have to worry with all. Any volunteer for stanza number 1?
Okay, Brother Leng Huat.
Ah,
I volunteer for stanza 1.
okay, good.
Okay. Tanhankaro Mahaviro Metangkaro Mahayaso Saranang Karo Lokahito Dipankaro Jutindaro.
Okay, well done, sister. Okay, second line, Saranang karo lokahito, long O, short I, lokahito.
Lokahito.
Yes, and then Dipankaro, long I, Dipankaro.
Dipankaro. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Dipankaro, Jutindaro.
Jutindaro.
Okay, very well done, sister. Very good. Okay, so I should nominate you all, The Shirin, you want to try, Shirin? Have you all learned this before, sister? I forgot also, actually.
Can.
Huh?
Yes, yes, we learned this. Yes.
Okay. Then you
So
go.
stanza 1 is it?
You can do 1 and 2?
Is it recite stanza 1 and 2? Okay.
Okay, stanza 1, okay.
Tanghan karo mahaviro medang karo mahayaso saranang karo lokahito dipan karo jutindaro kondanyo jana pamoko. It's quite some time we did the last time we did this.
Okay,
Mangalo purisa sabo sumano diru revato rati vadano.
Okay, stanza number 1 was very well done, sister. Stanza number 1, only Mahaviro. There's a long I there. Mahaviro. Yeah?
Mahaviro.
Yes. Okay, focus on stanza number 1 better. Okay? And then practice on your own. This is a
Okay.
very chance you can do it at home. You can do it for your house every day. Very nice.
Yes.
Very...
Yes.
Anybody else want to volunteer? One more last
Okay.
volunteer before we anybody else? Okay, I'm going to stop share now. Okay. Yeah, okay. So anybody has any questions? So if there's nothing else, then we can call it a night tonight. I think our
No.
life of the Buddha, I will finish by end of this month. We will finish in two or three more lessons for the life of the Buddha. Of course, there's a very long series life of the Buddha, but we will just make it short. We understand the important events only. Okay, so with that, we'll come to conclusion, Sister Sumitra. So you do a survey and see whether we can start our another class of beginners on Wednesday. And for you all experienced people, you can still join us now because there'll be a lot of we can just brush up on it. Okay. So dear sisters, we have spent an hour and a half learning, listening to the life of the Buddha. And I'm sure during such time, our mind stayed very focused. And again, I say, when our mind is focused, there is no unwholesome thoughts that came to your mind. When your mind is free from these kind of unwholesome thoughts of greed, hatred, and delusion, we accrue abundance of merit. And these merits we always dedicate to our protective devas. And we hope that they will rejoice in these merits and they too will eventually attain the perfect bliss of Nibbana. And by virtue of these merits, may they continue to bless us with good health, longevity, success, happiness, prosperity, and above all, wisdom to continue to walk the Buddha's path. We must also recall to mind the names of our loved ones who are no more with us. We hope that they too will rejoice in these merits and they will continue to bless us with the choicest blessings and protection. However, in the event that if they need our merits to help them in their spiritual well-being, may these merits reach them and help them in their spiritual well-being. Our aspiration as always, may we be blessed with company of the good and the wise always. May we not follow the ways of the foolish. May we be blessed with good friends and good teachers who can guide us along the path of the Dhamma until we reach our final liberation, Nibbana. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva sabbe satta sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampati sittiya idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana patiya. Sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu.
sadhu, sadhu.